Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
Hola, soy Brenda Romaniello, tu profesora de español. Hello and welcome. My name is Brenda Romaniello and I'm your Spanish teacher. Today, we're going to have a look at how to talk about occupations in Spanish. We're going to start with some vocabulary, so I would like you to repeat after me. Estudiante, estudiante. Policía, policía. Barista, barista. Oficinista, oficinista. Chef, chef. Contador, contador. And the femenino form is going to be contadora, contadora. Maestro is a male teacher. Maestro. Maestra. Maestra is a female teacher. Doctor. Doctor. Doctora. Doctora. Again, so doctor is a male doctor, female doctor, doctora. Ingeniero. Ingeniero. Ingeniera. Ingeniera. Engineer, male and female engineer. Abogado. Abogado. Abogada. Abogada. Investigador. Investigador. Investigadora. Investigadora. And they mean researcher. So researcher, a male researcher is going to be investigador. A female researcher is going to be investigadora. Bombero. Bombero. Bombera. Bombera. This is for firefighter. Enfermero. Enfermero. And the female form, enfermera. Enfermera. The last one, empleado de banco. Empleado de banco. And the femenino form is going to be empleada de banco. Empleada de banco. Muy bien. Very good job. So let's have a look. Let's talk about these occupations that we have in Spanish here in the vocabulary table. And when you notice that we haven't given you the option of two options, yes, like as you can see on these ones, it's because they are neutral in gender. That means that we're going to use these occupations for a man and a woman, right? So estudiante is neutral. We say female and male estudiante is the same, estudiante. So a female and male student is estudiante. And as you can see, when we go to contador and contadora, we start to have a form, a different word for the masculino form and the femenino form. So if you're a man, you have to say contador for accountant, and if you're a woman, you have to say contadora. Notice that when we have that occupation ending in R, we're just simply going to add an A to form the femenino form. Can you see in doctor as well that the femenino is doctora? And in other cases such as maestro or ingeniero, abogado, etc., you can see that we just simply replace the O for the masculino form and replace it with an A to form the occupation in the femenino form. Maestro, maestra, ingeniero, ingeniera, abogado, abogada. Okay, bombero, bombera, etc., etc. Okay, so the other thing that I want to point out is that empleado de banco and empleada de banco, the word that is changing is the employee, right? Banco stays the same because banco means bank, okay? So it's the empleado that changes to empleada in the femenino form. Now, let's have a look at this vocabulary in context in a conversation. Let's say that two neighbors are getting to know each other a little bit better, and one of the neighbors is a woman, and she's a young woman. The neighbor asks, ¿Eres maestra? ¿Eres maestra? No, no soy maestra. Soy estudiante. No, no soy maestra. Soy estudiante. So as you can see here, we can use this question, eres, plus the occupation to ask for someone about their occupation. Yes, eres doctor, eres doctora, eres bombero, eres bombera, eres estudiante, eres chef, etc., etc. Let's have a look at some other examples for the answers. So you can say, no, no soy bombero. No, no soy bombero. Soy policía. No, no soy contadora. Soy abogada. No, no soy contadora. Soy abogada. As you can see, we have two structures for replying to this question, eres, and then the occupation. We're going to say no, no soy, plus the occupation to say when that's not your occupation. And then we're going to say soy, and then your actual occupation to describe what you do for a living. Soy plus actual occupation. Look at the literal translation in this chart. As you can see, I'm saying, no, I'm not an occupation. I know that in English, we say, are you a teacher? Or I'm not an accountant. So I know that we add that non-specific article before the occupation in English. In Spanish, notice that we don't do that. It's very simple. You just say no, no soy plus the occupation and soy your actual occupation. So there's no a or there's no non-specific article in Spanish when we talk about occupation. So pay attention to that when you mention what you do for work or for a living. Okay, so, ¿eres maestra? No, no soy maestra. Soy estudiante. No, no soy bombero. Soy policía. No, no soy contadora. Soy abogada. Muy bien, es hora de practicar. It's time to practice. Do you remember how to say female teacher? Maestra. Maestra. Do you remember how to say, I'm a teacher? Soy maestra. Soy maestra. And do you remember how to say, I'm not a teacher in Spanish? No soy maestra. No soy maestra. Do you remember how to say no in Spanish? No. No. Then do you remember how to say, no, I'm not a teacher in Spanish? No, no soy maestra. No, no soy maestra. Do you remember how to say student in Spanish? Estudiante. Estudiante. Do you remember how to say I'm a student in Spanish? Soy estudiante. Soy estudiante. And do you remember how to say police officer in Spanish? Policía. Policía. Do you remember how to say male lawyer in Spanish? Abogado. Abogado. And female lawyer, how do you say that in Spanish? Abogada. Abogada. And how do you say barista in Spanish? Barista. Barista. And how do you say male teacher in Spanish? Maestro. Maestro. Do you remember how to say male researcher in Spanish? Investigador. Investigador. And what about female researcher? Investigadora. Investigadora. Do you remember how to say office worker in Spanish? Oficinista. Oficinista. Do you remember how to say chef in Spanish? Chef. Chef. Do you remember how to say male doctor in Spanish? Doctor. Doctor. And what about female doctor? Doctora. Doctora. Do you remember how to say male firefighter in Spanish? Bombero. Bombero. And what about female